Hello and welcome to Your Broken Galaxy. Today I'm starting off my 128 character tournament that I call Star Wars Versus Season 2. The first fight is between Luke Skywalker and Bastila Shan. I'll get to the fight right away, but stay tuned after the fight so I can explain the tournament and how you can help decide who wins. Let's get started. Luke goes deep into meditation on the ancient world of Tython. After an hour of focusing on the Force, a portal opens and through it steps a young woman. "Who are you?" she asks. "Girl, don't you know anything?" Luke responds humbly. "I'm the greatest Jedi that ever lived." And the woman is like, "You've got nothing on my husband." And she ignites her dual-bladed saber. Oh, so that's how it's going to be. Luke lifts both his hands and starts slinging like 1,000 tiny pebbles at her. Basically, everything bounces off of her, and she remains unharmed. "Why the heck did you do that?" she asks. "To hurt you with all those rocks." "Those rocks literally are each like 3 to 4 grams. "Yeah, so? So in order for them to hurt me, they'd have to be going much faster." "But there were so many rocks," he said. "But there was nothing behind them," she replied. Luke takes out his saber and says, "Well, I suppose this may work then." He jumps at Bastila, and in a flash of green and yellow, their sabers start spinning back and forth. Luke had never fought someone with a double-bladed saber, and he was like, "You kind of remind me of my sister." And she's like, "Oh, really? She must be incredibly attractive." And Luke, totally blushes. And Bastila stops and says, "Wait, are you blushing? Do you like your sister?" And Luke is like, "No, it's not like that. It's just like, when we met, I didn't know she was my sister." So Bastila swings her saber at him and says, "Dude, that's gross." Luke picks up a pebble with the Force and flings it towards her, but it bounces harmlessly off her stomach. "That one was so much faster," he said. "Yeah, but it didn't have any mass to it." He swings his saber at her again, and she jumps out of the way. "So why didn't you know she was your sister?" Bastila asked. "We were both adopted. I met her when I was 19. "Oh, that's weird. How did you meet?" She said while thrusting her blade full force in the direction of his face. "Funny story. Our father is an evil Sith Lord. He had captured her and sent a message to our father's Jedi Master, who happened to live a little bit down the road from me. I ended up getting swept into it," Luke answered as he blocked her blow. "I see," Bastila said, ducking under a slash of Luke's green blade. "So you said your husband was a Jedi. I didn't think Jedi could get married." "Oh, well, we kind of went against the Council's wishes," Bastila responded. "Really?" Luke said. "Yeah, we just saved the galaxy from his evil apprentice and got swept up in the moment." "Oh, his apprentice turned evil," Luke said, pushing Bastila's legs out from under her with the Force. She fell to the ground and rolled out of the way as Luke's foot came to stomp on her knee, then sprang up with the Force. "Yeah, actually he turned evil with his apprentice, but then we captured and had his mind wiped so he could be used as a weapon against his apprentice." "That sounds really ethically questionable," Luke said, parrying another stab toward his midsection. "Yeah, well, we gave him a new personality." "We?" Luke asked as he lifted an utterly massive rock and projected it slowly towards Bastila. It bumped into her and harmlessly, and she jumped away. "That one had so much mass," Luke said. "Yeah, but no acceleration," Bastila responded as she swept his legs out from under him and went to stab down on his chest. Luke stopped the blade by pushing up on it with the Force, and Bastila continued. "I was a Padawan at the time, and the Masters wiped his memory, and they sent us on a mission to discover how his evil apprentice was getting his armies and defeat him." "I see," Luke said as he sprang up from the ground. "So a mind-wiped Sith Lord and a Padawan were sent out on a mission to destroy evil. That doesn't sound very good," she responded. "It does not." "What were the Jedi Masters doing at the time?" Luke asked, while he was blocking a strike to his forward leg. "Just, sitting around on Dantooine." "That reminds me of someone I know," Luke said, thinking of Obi-Wan and Yoda just sitting around like lazy jerks for years after the rise of the Empire. Bastila swung her blade at him again, and he backflipped out of the way. He got a baseball-sized rock, which he flung at her with incredible speed. It struck her in the head, and she fell to the ground. Mass and acceleration. Now that's what I call the Force. "Ma'am," Luke said, trying to rouse her. "Ma'am, are you all right?" "It doesn't appear that you're breathing, and I haven't rediscovered force healing yet." "Ah, you'll be fine," he said before walking away. So there you have it. Luke Skywalker is the first winner in the 128-person tournament. I chose the combatants by a random number generator. I just listed everyone, gave them a number, and it just so happened that Luke was the very first guy. So starting off strong. I have announced in a post on Facebook who the first 16 competitors are. There's one mystery competitor in there, and I'm going to be determining who wins those fights on my own because I don't have any Patreon members. But if you would like to vote on who wins all of these fights, then all you need to do is sign up for my Patreon. I do have a few different levels. There's a few perks. It's nothing really special, but anyone who signs up at any level will be able to vote for who wins. So if only one person signs up for my Patreon and I'm done with the first 8 fights and I announce the next 8 fights and I send out a vote, who do you want to win? That person can just pick by themselves every person they want to win a fight. So hopefully I'll have a few more than just one person. It's possible I may have 0 people. If that's the case, then I'm just going to keep picking the winners based on what I think is funny, or based on what I think might set up funny fights in the future. But that's it for today. Oh, if you'd like to support me on Patreon, or possibly Subscribestar, at the time of recording I didn't have it set up. I have had some difficulty with Subscribestar, but check in the links in the descriptions below. If I ever get Subscribestar figured out, I'll get that posted there too. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and all that garbage.